Guys, well, Bitcoin is getting rejected right here at the resistance, a very important level. We can see the regular financial markets just continue to put in higher levels, and this is just extremely interesting. And we are going to have a look at today's video at the correlation between Bitcoin and the regular financial markets. We are of course going to have a look at Bitcoin, stablecoin dominance, which will fire a very important signal very soon as well. I want to talk a little bit about sentiment, and we are also of course going to have a look at some derivatives exchange data and at some altcoins that are exploding right now in this market, which also says a lot about what's going on. So guys, drop a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Now let's jump straight into it. And Bitcoin, as you can see, is very interesting because the price is consolidating higher while the relative strength index is coming down, right, on the 4-hour time frame. And normally that can be seen as a bearish divergence. It is actually a bearish divergence, but as long as we are not breaking any important support level, it's actually bullish consolidation because the price moves sideways or upwards while the momentum indicators are coming down, creating more space for bullish momentum, right? So when it goes up, there is more space right here, and we can break this declining resistance. So that's very interesting. Bitcoin right now does seem to come down a little bit into that period of Black Friday, this Friday the 24th. So that is quite interesting because seasonally we have seen corrections around the regular financial markets and around Bitcoin roughly at the date of Black Friday, but also seasonally after Black Friday, Bitcoin takes off again when we do get that correction on Black Friday. So I think this is quite interesting. If we zoom out on the daily time frame, guys, we actually have like something like this, like a rising wedge formation right here. But it looks like we already broke above that resistance, and right now we basically consolidating between that former resistance of that rising wedge formation right here and the golden ratio retracement level right here. So probably Bitcoin is getting squeezed within this level and will choose a direction, either breakout to the upside or breakout to the downside. Of course, when we do roll back into this pattern, we have to take a little bit caution. But I think there's still quite a possibility and probability that Bitcoin is going to break out to the upside. And I'm going to show you exactly why. And first of all, I want to go to the regular financial markets because a lot of people are talking about the decoupling, right? Decoupling, that means that the regular financial markets, they are not directly correlated with Bitcoin anymore. And kind of that's right in the shorter term time frame. I'm going to show you why people are saying that. But on the other hand, they are actually still very much correlated. And so if we just look at the recent price action right here, right, Bitcoin goes up, financial markets go up, financial markets goes down, Bitcoin goes down, they both go up. Here Bitcoin actually goes down, the regular financial markets goes up, so there's a little bit of a divergence. Bitcoin eventually follows, they top around the same time, Bitcoin comes down right here. Similar with the regular financial markets. Then Bitcoin is consolidating sideways where the regular financial markets go up, regular financial markets goes down. Here we get a divergence again when Bitcoin is going up. That is when everyone is talking about the decoupling, right? S&P 500 going down while Bitcoin is going up, but then eventually we are seeing the S&P 500 catching up on Bitcoin again, and right now they're both quite up. So I would say there is not really a decoupling going on. There is kind of a delay between those two. And I think they're still very correlated, which actually is quite dangerous if we look in the coming years ahead. Because as you may know, I'm not that bullish on the regular financial markets. If we have a look at 2024, 5 and 6, I don't really think, and I have some good reasons for that, I don't really think that we decisively can break above this resistance right here and continue this uptrend. And this is the S&P 500 divided by the M2 money supply, and as you can see, we are touching a resistance that hasn't been broken since the dot-com bubble area. And since 2001 we actually trade below this resistance and we haven't been able to break above it. And every time we touch this resistance or come close, we get a massive hammer to the downside. I do have to say that the hammers are kind of like getting less and less extreme. So here we had a massive decline. This was the housing market crash. Here we had the March 2020 crash, or this was February for the regular financial markets. For Bitcoin it was March. Here we had the bear market in 2022. Here we get that last shakeout, and now we are touching this level again. Can we break it? Yes, it's definitely possible. Why wouldn't we break it? Well, the reason why I think it's not very likely to break, because we have this big elephant in the room with the inversion of the yield curve. That is one thing. That's not even the most important thing, but generally that's a good recession signal, early signal for recessions. We have very high interest rates, which means that money is not easily flowing into the economy. So there's a lot of downside pressure on stocks with such high interest rates. And these interest rates are at similar levels where we were when Bitcoin went. Actually, we saw the housing market crash, the fall of the Lehman Brothers. So I think sooner or later this will definitely has its toll on the regular financial markets. And as they are still, even though there's a delay correlated with Bitcoin, I think that will be bearish for Bitcoin too. But this right now, it's not the time to be bearish, but it is the time that if you are following this perspective that I'm having here on the markets, that you at least are aware of it and that you make somewhat kind of a plan. Because if this were to play out, a lot of people will be caught off guard, because that means that we could top maybe December this year, or maybe January, February, Q1 of next year, which will be followed by a multi-year long bear market. This is the 16-year cycle. I've been talking about the 16-year cycle already very early, like 1 year ago. I've already started to talk about this. Why did I talk about the 16-year cycle? Because we can see that the dot-com bubble, which is also a technology that got introduced and was very disruptive, like the internet, got introduced in society. There was all this anticipation and prices went to the roof, and that secular bull market that looked very much like Bitcoin, with 4-year cycles and so on, they eventually had a secular bear market. This was the secular bear market, and a lot of people tell me like, yeah, but why? Because the adoption is increasing, and like more people will use Bitcoin. Bitcoin is very needed, and that is also where my doubt comes in. Yes, Bitcoin is very needed. We are seeing the new president of Argentina being pro-Bitcoin. So more and more people in the world are being established as pro-Bitcoin. Why? But the same happened with internet. Right? When the internet first came, you had these television shows saying like, yeah, what is this for thing? What is this for thing? Internet and connection. What is it? Nobody sees the potential, but the investors see the potential and they anticipate. That's why we had this massive bull market. But do you think that from the year 2000 to the year 2009, do you really think that the adoption of the adoption of the internet decreased? No. In opposite, the adoption greatly increased. More and more people started to use the internet. More and more companies started to implement internet into their business model, like providing online services and so on. So the internet was very bullish. The amount of users was also very bullish. But we went into this bear market. You know, even with those internet companies and internet stocks doing, or internet being adopted. And that is because we had already this big anticipation, which is going beyond the value of what internet at that specific moment actually is. That's purely anticipation from speculators and investors, and that needs to correct. So although in the real world, with the real fundamentals, things can go up, amount of users, amount of Bitcoin addresses, people that are using Bitcoin and so on, the price could I'm saying it's not a fact, it's not guaranteed, but could come down. And that's what a lot of people always say. Markets are not rational. Markets move with ebb and flow, and that's why I really want to be prepared if something like this happens. Because, like I said in my previous video as well, guys, if I'm going to have 1 million euro or 2 million euro or 3 million euro, my life doesn't change. Or 10 million euro, it doesn't really change, right? But there's a big difference between 1 million and 100k. That would be like changing life situations, or 1 million and 50k, something like that, so, or maybe 200k and 20k, right? There's like, if you go lower in the amount, there is going to be huge differences in the quality of life. And I'm in a position where I'm going to say, like, yeah, I'm going to definitely choose for the quality of life. And if I'm going to be later this bull market, because right now I'm still very, very bullish, don't get me wrong, I'm very, very bullish, but later this bull market, I might be a little bit more conservative than the rest, and I'm going to try to handle my greedy emotions a little bit better than last bull market and take profits a little bit earlier, as I'm seeing some big headwinds for the regular financial markets, and I think that might be also for Bitcoin. And that is by any means, guys, not a certainty, because I also see a possibility where regular financial markets maybe crash, or maybe don't even need to crash actually, but where Bitcoin could skyrocket, right? Where everyone suddenly is like, yeah, we need a new money system, everyone goes to Bitcoin. I mean, there's so much liquidity that we still can get in Bitcoin. So if I just look at technical analysis, I would say, like, okay, I'm a little bit afraid of that multi-year long bear market coming for crypto, because I also think it's coming for the regular financial markets, because I can see it, you can see it in the world around you. Things are actually, the economy right now, the markets are not really reflecting what's going on in the world, right? And sooner or later that will be connected again, and then it's the question, what's going to happen then? But I also see a scenario where Bitcoin just could go into infinity, as all liquidity is going to Bitcoin, because it's solving so many problems. And that's also why I'm going to say, I will never sell all of my Bitcoin. Never. I'll always keep a part of my Bitcoin because of that potential scenario that all liquidity gets sucked up in Bitcoin like a black hole, because it's just a superior form of money. Right, and I'm very bullish on that, but I also don't want to be the sucker that holds Bitcoin in a multi-year long bear market. Well, I see a lot of signs that 60-year cycle, name it, that we might have that multi-year long bear market. So definitely something to watch, guys. And while Bitcoin right now is touching that resistance, we actually see with the stablecoin dominance that we are hovering, consolidating around that support. Let me put it on the 4-hour time frame. And we are consolidating right here in the triangle formation. I wait for this thing to break out, right? So when this thing will break out to the upside and we have this clean break right here, I definitely see Bitcoin correcting further. I'm not really sure if altcoins is going to correct further. That really depends on the Bitcoin dominance. That one I will share in a second too. Because altcoins are looking very, very strong. And when this is breaking down, of course, Bitcoin will go on another rally. Might even come on the news on the ETF approval. But yeah, definitely waiting for that breakout, as this chart is definitely consolidating and is going to give us a super clear confirmation on Bitcoin. But yeah, the thing is with Bitcoin, right? In normal market conditions, you would say, like, yeah, Bitcoin is going to correct. But sometimes in bullish market conditions for Bitcoin, Bitcoin just doesn't look back. It just goes and goes and goes until it's just completely tired, over and overbought, and seeing like a blow off top kind of thing. And then get that correction or first things flowing into altcoins. And that's also what I want to share with you, because I asked the community right here, how much of your portfolio is in Bitcoin crypto? And the majority answered actually 10%. There were quite a lot of people who have 80 of 100%. Those are really the diehard people. But the majority of the people says 10%, which is actually quite smart, that you don't have for example, a lot of your portfolio in crypto, as it is very volatile, right? It really depends on if the amount of risk you want to take, basically. But this also shows, to me personally, that still a lot of people are sidelined, right? If you have 10% in your from your portfolio in crypto, generally that's not considered a lot, right? I'm definitely between 80 and 100% right now, and if we do get a dip down, it will definitely be 100%. So I like to take that risk, because for me right now, where we are right now in the cycle, for me it's good to take risk in this part of the cycle, but I'm also going to scale down that risk significantly in the coming months, depending on what Bitcoin is going to do. And let's have a look at some derivatives exchange data, guys. Then we jump to the altcoin section of today. And derivatives exchange data, I think, is actually looking pretty interesting. We have an interesting profile. We have the sentiment is kind of greedy, so the fear and greed index is quite high. But this is something that can last quite long in a bull market. I think funding rates and premium is going to be a little bit more important. And what we can see right here, and basically, we are now looking at Ethereum. We can flip this to Bitcoin, because I think Ethereum's derivatives exchange data is looking slightly better. But you can see really that the funding rate is coming down right here. So from the people that are longing Ethereum, a lot of people, they close their longs and they flip their bias into a more short bias. Not the majority yet who is short, but it's definitely coming down, and that is something that you really want to see. Also right here, the premium index is already negative, which means that the price is not being led by the derivatives market, but it's led by the spot market, which is very healthy. So I would say Ethereum is looking good. We can see the take by sell ratio going up here as well. And when we have a look at Bitcoin, we kind of get a similar image, although Ethereum looks a little bit nicer. But the funding rates are coming down, like the take by sell ratio is going up. And we can see right here the premium index also coming down, already touched some negative levels, but coming down. So we definitely see a correction in the sentiment. We see a correction in the traders. Now it's just a big question, is this already the low, or are we just going to see a little bit more of a reset before we can turn around? And so far I do like these signals that we are seeing right here over in a bull market. Then guys, let's go to the next coin, and that is ChainGPT. And ChainGPT, guys, we have been mentioning over on Will Alerts. This is one of the altcoins that we have been accumulating that right now is taking off, and we have a kind of selective way of picking altcoins. We had DYDX. We made 2 times on DYDX over 100% profit, guys. That was insane. But right now we are on ChainGPT, and ChainGPT is an AI token that is really taking off right here. It's up roughly also over 100%. So that's actually doubling your money. I have my exits coming up quite soon right here, at least a couple of them, because when you exit the token right here after 100%, you can just let the rest of the token sit in the token and just let it ride for free while you already got your US dollar tether back that you invested earlier. And guys, I definitely think if you are not a part of Will Alerts yet, make sure to become a part for free just by joining one of these exchanges down below. We have more altcoins that we have been talking about, not too many, but a couple of them where there is just a big divergence between the fundamentals and the price of the altcoin, right? And then for me it's just a matter of time that the price of the altcoin is going to meet that fundamentals and even overshoot it because of the hype. But it is important to position yourself very early. So for example, ChainGPT, also they already have working products. I like the way what they are building exactly, and it has had just such a massive correction, and right here a beautiful like kind of bottoming structure. So this was a very beautiful and easy pick. But we have some other altcoins that are really lining up perfectly, same like ChainGPT, where I'm going to expect that they are going to go on massive rallies. And yeah, if you are interested in checking those altcoins, make sure to join Will Alerts. You can just scroll below this video. You can join Bybit, BingX, or BitGet. All of these exchanges, you get actually a lot of advantages if you use my specific affiliate link, because first of all, you will get a deposit bonus from these exchanges. Well, from Bybit, that's kind of insane. You can get up to $30,000 US. On BingX, it's $9,600 US, and on BitGet, it's roughly $5,000 US. all of these exchanges have their own benefits, so I would also definitely recommend to have accounts on multiple. I of course have accounts on all of these exchanges. I'm using all of them. So you have Bybit, where you have altcoins. For example, ChainGPT you can buy on Bybit. You can trade derivatives on Bybit, but also on the spot market. And Bybit has just a lot of liquidity, so it's definitely one of the best exchanges out there, but you have to have a KYC verified account, right? If that's not a problem for your region, definitely pick Bybit. If you don't want any KYC, then you should go to BingX. BingX doesn't have any KYC, and you can trade so many things on BingX. Also commodities, indices like S&P 500. Very interesting. That's what I'm using BingX for right now, and you don't need to have any KYC. And you can just deposit US dollar Tether and trade with that. And BitGet is a very nice exchange as well, as BitGet has also a lot of liquidity, sometimes even surpassed Bybit. So BitGet is definitely a very stable exchange. They offer sometimes more altcoins or different altcoins that Bybit is not offering. That's why I really love BitGet. But on BitGet you also need your KYC verification, and you can get there like a bonus of up to 5,000 US dollars. Next to these deposit bonuses and the advantages that the exchange itself are offering, you also get access to will alerts whenever you deposit and open your first trade. You have to meet those requirements, and then you need to go to willportal.com. And then you just click right here on will alerts, and then here you can just select the exchange that you want to sign up to. You can just click on this image also to join these exchanges, and then here you can fill in your information, your user ID, email address, Telegram handle, and we from our side will then have a look whether you meet those deposit requirements. We cannot see what you are trading, we cannot see these kind of things, but we can see if this person made a deposit, if this person is KYC verified, right? We don't get really other data, but we can see when you have made a deposit and if you opened your first trade. So once that is sufficient and we can view that from our side, we'll add you to the Telegram channel. Make sure that you have your Telegram handle, or that your Telegram account is able to be added to private channels, because sometimes I try to add people, but then they have their privacy settings in such a way that they cannot be put into private channels. So make sure you have your privacy settings good. And the third advantage is if you ever have any problems with one of these exchanges that we are promoting right here on the channel, and you signed up with our affiliate link down below this video or clicking on this image, then you can always contact me. And only if you are an affiliate, I'm able to speak for you. So I can go to these exchanges. I have contact with the managers of all these exchanges, sometimes quite high in position, right? That I can tell them hey, I have someone from my community who is a member from Will Alert signed up with our affiliate link, so it's linked to me, who has a problem, right? And I want to solve that as soon as possible. And if I would reach out, or if it comes from a community, there's definitely more backbone in there, because they don't want people like me to talk bad about them, right? But of course, we're gonna be honest. If someone is facing a problem, I'm also going to address that right here on the channel, because I don't want people to get any problems, right? And I personally never had any problems with any of these exchanges. I've actually have very good contact with them, and I think they are very good exchanges. But if it occurs, at least you have someone to back you up, some community that backs you up, which gives them a little bit pressure to solve the issue for you. So I'm not saying that this is going to happen. We're not hoping that this is going to happen. I'm in some different crypto groups, and sometimes I see people, hey, I have a problem with a withdrawal, of hey, I have some problem, I can't get a contact, or just talking with the customer service, right? If you are signed up to a community, you can always contact that community leader, and then he might help you to solve any problems. So that's actually a lot of advantages when you join with an affiliate link, and it doesn't cost you anything, because normally you pay a fee. So if you open a position on Bybit, you pay a fee, which you pay anyway, right? Normally that fee, if you just sign up on Bybit, 100% goes to Bybit. but the moment you join with an affiliate link, a small part of that fee will go to that person, like where you created that link from. So you don't have any, it doesn't cost anything for the end users, actually for free. It's just from the back end that a part of the link, that part of the fees that normally goes to Bybit, goes to the content creator, goes to the, you know, to the community, to the YouTube channel. And in our case, all the money that is generated with these links, and I can tell you already, it's not even that much, but all that money that is generated with these fees is going into this platform, Will Portal, to make it better, as we have a whole team that needs to be basically needs to be paid to develop such a beautiful tool which helps us predicting the markets, right? So definitely, guys, if you want to support the channel, if you want to support Will Portal, and if you want to get access to Will alerts, scroll below this video, join Bybit, BingX, or BitGet, or join all three of them to be already prepared for this bull market, and to be able to join Will alerts. We have a lot of important things going on there. And yeah, guys, that's all I want to say about that. I want to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. I want to wish every single one of you a beautiful day today, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video.